Now let me talk a little bit about the Occupy Wall Street movement. First of all, the people who are occupying Wall Street and who are protesting are directing their anger in the wrong direction. They're occupying the wrong street. Instead of occupying Wall Street, they should be occupying Pennsylvania Avenue. Instead of protesting the banks that were bailed out, they should protest the government that bailed them out. The protesters should be protesting the White House, Capitol Hill, the Federal Reserve, the Supreme Court. That's what's failed them. It's not capitalism, but the lack of capitalism. What are they upset about? They're upset about the bailouts of the banks, corporate welfare, but that's not capitalism. Maybe it's crony capitalism or corporatism or statism or socialism or fascism. There are a lot of isms that you can label this, but the one ism that doesn't apply is capitalism. Because under capitalism, the banks would have failed. They wouldn't have been bailed out. There would be no corporate welfare. In fact, if we had capitalism, there really wouldn't have been a housing bubble. If we had capitalism, there wouldn't have been a financial crisis. So the protesters would have nothing to protest. The problem is, and I've often said this, that China gives communism a good name, but America is giving capitalism a bad name. Because all of these problems are being blamed on capitalism, but they have nothing to do with capitalism. Now, I recognize that some of the demands of some of the people who maybe are leading the Occupy Wall Street movement are very socialist in nature. What they want, reads like, the 10 planks almost of the Communist Manifesto. So clearly, what the demands are more government, more socialism. But what is driving the protests is what they're demanding. What they're protesting, the absence of capitalism. The Occupy Wall Street movement is really arguing for more capitalism, whether they know it or not. Now, one of their protests, or one of their demands, rather, is the complete forgiveness of all the student loans. But wait a minute. Why are those student loans there in the first place? The students are protesting the banks that loaned them the money. But what they don't understand is the only reason the banks loaned the money was because the government guaranteed the loans. If the government wasn't there to guarantee the loans, the banks wouldn't have loaned the students any money. So there would be no student debt outstanding. In fact, what would have happened if there were no government guaranteed student loans is colleges would have been forced to lower tuitions dramatically so that kids could afford to go there without borrowing the money. It's not capitalism that is driving up college tuitions. It's not capitalism that is saddling our young people with all these student loans. It's government that's doing that. And so rather than protesting capitalism, they need to protest government. In fact, if we can educate the Occupy Wall Street movement so that they understand what it is they're protesting, then maybe we can merge the Occupy Wall Street movement with the Tea Party. That would be a political force to be reckoned with. That's a movement I could really get behind. And, if we really had capitalism, the truth is those people who are now occupying Wall Street wouldn't have any time to occupy Wall Street. They'd be too busy working. They'd have good jobs in a vibrant free market economy. The reason they have all this spare time on their hands is because the government has destroyed their opportunities. That's what they need to protest, not capitalism. Anyway, that's it for today. Don't forget to continue to listen to my updates on schiffradio.com, and I will be adding another video blog soon. Take care.